Oh snap, Erie County fam. Another unlawful police strike, violating the Taylor Law.
Police union and some individual officers are expected to be slapped with a charge of violating the state's Taylor Law by conducting a 3-week strike.
Got anybody to be able to talk to me about the strike?
Officer who participated in the strike, along with the union, could face financial penalties.
Yeah, is a supervisor available?
I can check. Did you sign in with the security guard?
No.
Okay, you just need to sign in first.
Yeah, I don't wish to sign in.
Pardon me?
I don't really wish to sign in.
Well, that's the procedure.
You'd ask, Erie County fam, why are the police striking? And, well, it would actually shock you. It's because he got busted doing something and got charged, and the chief of police disciplined him. That's right, Erie County fam. He was caught keeping drugs from a scene. In other words, he kept illegal drugs, didn't turn it in, and kept it to himself.
Listen, y'all, these kids want to act up in school, want to go to school and embarrass you, want to make like they ain't got no home training. So I told my son, don't go to school embarrassing no more. I'll take care of you, son. I give you anything you want. I discipline you. But you're going to embarrass me like this? No, so now I'm going to cut his hair.
Oh, I got to ask you.
Hey,
do me a favor. Wait for the SWAT guys. Now I saw you were in a restricted area. Now I want your identification. You're not getting it.
Don't embarrass me. I told him, don't embarrass me. No.
The police union and some individual officers are expected to be slapped with a charge of violating the state's Taylor Law by conducting a 3-week strike that started in mid-January. Town leaders say cops either wrote fewer tickets or failed to write any at all during that period. Tonight, the board unanimously decided to move forward with legal action against the union. Our Dylan Morello was there and has the details. Dylan.
Dave, that's right. Tonight, the town officially hired a law firm to further investigate and also possibly press charges against the police union, otherwise known as the Town of Tonawanda Police Club. Now, members of the union, they were present today. They were highly vocal, many of them saying that these accusations are baseless.
How can our members go to work every day and focus on fighting crime while our employers don't have our back?
The line into Monday's meeting was out the door, filled with rank and file and families, along with the Erie and Niagara County Sheriffs, Buffalo, Amherst, City of Tonawanda, and Lockport unions standing in solidarity with TOT Police.
Did you hear all those agencies, Erie County fam, and all those bootlickers there to back these police? Well, let's get to the bottom of why they're striking and why this is a very peculiar strike for them. And why they're backing this, I can't understand for the life of it. Why are the police striking? And, well, it would actually shock you. It's because he got busted doing something and got charged, and the chief of police disciplined him. The guy's name is, well, I'm not going to even try to pronounce his first name. I couldn't on my best day, so we're going to call him B. Singh. But, folks, let's take a look at these charge papers and find out. He was charged with 6. That's right, Erie County fam. He was caught keeping drugs from a scene. In other words, he kept illegal drugs, didn't turn it in, and kept it to himself. But the thing just says illegal drugs, but up top, if we scroll up a little here, it talks about handling heroin evidence. So was our officer keeping himself some heroin? And then the police are going to strike for it? Wow, fam, get ready. We're going to get some interviews, and we're going to talk about it.
The issue stems from an investigation that found officers participated in a 3-week strike. According to Town Supervisor Joe Eminger, in January, officers either wrote far fewer tickets or ignored violations altogether. At one point, the meeting lost control, with some screaming above the crowd, calling on town leaders to resign. A few neighbors even being asked to leave. Once the decision was made, everyone in support of the police filed out of the heated meeting immediately.
That's right, Erie County fam. All these bootlickers, delusional, backing up an officer who took drugs from a scene. By the looks of it, heroin, nonetheless. What are these people thinking, fam?
Well, the town of Tonawanda says just one day after an officer was disciplined for misconduct, the number of tickets being issued by the department dropped during the 21 days of the alleged strike period. Veteran officers wrote a total of 52 tickets compared to more than 500 during the same period last year.
Well, fam, 108,000? I guess we were a little shy on integrity when we paid them. So, well, you guys let me know what you think. We're going to get down to the investigation on this, and we're even going to get ourselves an interview with the supervisor of the town about it, so we all can make our own opinion. And, well, all I got to say is be ready for some transparency in government, fam. Something we normally don't see. Down here today is February 25th. We're down here at the police station here in the town of Tonawanda, where the police have a strike going, an unlawful one, another one with the Taylor law here in New York, for the chief of police disciplining one of the officers for wrongdoing. So we're going to come down here and ask some questions, see what we can find out today about what this wrongdoing was, and if they're not going to tell us, we're obviously going to foil it all. So let's go ahead.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good for it.
I was looking to see if they got anybody that would be able to talk to me about the strike.
None of our union representatives are here right now. If you want to leave a message for them, I can have them reach out to you.
I guess more or less maybe even to speak to the chief of police, because my understanding it's because of a disciplinary action that happened.
You have to reach out to the chief secretary and make an appointment.
There's no way. Can you call up there and ask her, or I can make an appointment now while I'm here?
I mean, I can call and ask, but
yeah.
I don't even know if he's in the building.
Yeah, I mean, I stab in the dark, I guess, but if not, we can make an appointment.
Yeah.
So they might have somebody's ID up here.
Alright, just gonna talk to him and let me know.
What's that?
Just talk to him and let me know.
Alright, I guess if nobody will speak to me, maybe somebody can give me a little bit of information as far as, so I can fill out a FOIL request about the complaint and that.
Well, if you want to fill out a FOIL request is right here.
Alright,
I can give you a pen and give you
yeah, if I can grab a pen, I'll start filling one of those out while I'm waiting.
Actually, I got some right here.
Just fits, huh?
Yeah, it's gotta go a certain way.
I have to give the town of Tonawanda Police Department A+ on the FOIL response, because I did fill out this FOIL request, and by the end of the day I had half of my FOIL request filled, including the documents that allow us to know exactly why this man was disciplined and exactly why these police officers are striking for a drug thief.
Good?
Yeah, I think I got you.
Let's go about it.
So pretty much what I'm requesting there, I don't know, my writing's kind of bad, but pretty much what I'm requesting there is the discipline record that caused the strike. I need body camera involved with it. You know, even like, I want to show the public both sides of the story, and then let the people make their own decision of what the whole situation's going on. So as much transparency as we can get, the better. And like I said, I'll take the chief's number. We'll try to make a request for that. Gotcha.
Okay.
Is there's no public information officers available to speak now at all?
So he's not here. He's on vacation.
Gotcha.
But he's normally here.
Quite the week to go on vacation, huh?
Captain Milicic is the public information officer. So I don't know when he's coming back.
Does he have a card as well? If you know.
He's got a card. I'll check his office. Hold on.
Thanks.
These are old cards. It says lieutenant on there, but he's actually a captain.
All right.
You're all set.
Are you a patrolman or are you just a dispatch?
I'm a patrolman.
Patrolman. So here, take turns up in the front here sometimes, and sometimes you're on the road sometimes.
Yeah, I'm up here 2 days on the road, 2 days on the, 2 days on the desk, 2 days on the road.
All right, thanks. Can I just get a copy of that for my records? I appreciate that. Thank you very much. That's it.
Have a good day.
So of course, guys, there's nobody that's going to come out and answer. There's no questions. The chief won't speak. So we did put a public records request in. We're going to get the body camera footage and all the information on this and see how it goes. Today's the 25th. We'll see how long it takes them to get back to us on that full request and their answer, a little full report, and then, well, next time you hear from me, we'll have some answers. I'll see you guys. I'm here today at the Tonawanda Town Hall, which also incorporates the Village Hall of Kenmore. Down here to see if we can get some answers from the supervisor's office about why he's suing his police department, or at least filed a lawsuit against the police department for not meeting their quota of tickets.
Maybe we just knock him.
I don't see any, but I don't know if...
I know Gene's gone out to lunch.
Gene is the secretary?
Yeah. I don't know if Joe's in there or not.
I'll give it a knock, see if he hears it. If you don't, I guess. Just looks like anybody's down here.
2.5. You guys were half? For a reason. I told them it was going to be an easy gig. And then when they get into it, they start taking the screws out. Nothing comes apart because they're 90 years old. So that's why it took.
As far as she's at lunch right now. Any ideas how long ago? Maybe come
I didn't
back
pay
maybe
attention
like
what time. I know she
half hour or so.
She gets an hour, so I don't know exactly what time.
Thanks. Might have to stop back to try to catch the supervisor. We're gonna probably have to stop back at a different time.
Did you have an appointment with them, sir?
No, I was just trying to stop by, see if I could get a comment about the current strike going on or something like that, and if not, at least try to talk to the secretary or maybe make an appointment, I guess. But,
I would try back if you're going to head up probably 2:30ish.
yeah, I might stop back, or I might just try it again tomorrow. I might be in there, but thanks. Quite an improvement on John there. He didn't ask us to sign in. Down here, it would appear that the town supervisor is indeed here. Let's go find out if indeed the town supervisor is here. What appears his car is. How you doing? Yeah, is the supervisor available?
I can check. Did you sign in with the security guard?
No.
Okay, you just need to sign in first.
Yeah, I don't wish to sign in.
Pardon me?
I don't really wish to sign in.
Well, that's the procedure. So.
Yeah, but I don't want to waive my Fourth Amendment right to come here and talk to the supervisor or come into the town hall. All right, thank you.
Hold on 1 second. Let me double check.
If he's not available, can you grab a business card for me?
Hello there.
How you doing, Mr. Supervisor?
How are you?
What's that?
How are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah, good. What's your name?
My name is Dan Warmus.
Dan Woman, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Warmus. I'm an independent journalist with Audit in Erie County.
Okay.
And I was looking to see if maybe I can
Come on
get
in.
a moment
Come
with you and we could
Come
talk,
on in.
ask you a few
Go.
questions about the strike, if we can talk about
Sure,
it. I'm not
absolutely,
sure, but I
absolutely.
like transparency and
Absolutely. Can I get something to drink?
actually, no, I'm good.
No? Can you mind if I get something to drink?
No, go help yourself.
Have a seat. Have a seat. I'm gonna grab a water here. What's that? Get the water? Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. What do you want to know?
So, I do, I like to promote transparency and accountability in government.
You do what?
I do First Amendment auditing and
Okay.
and to promote transparency and accountability in government.
Where do you want me to sit?
Anyway, I got the whole table in here. So
You got the whole table?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. All right.
And I always appreciate that I can come down and meet a supervisor and he's like, hey, come on in, let's talk. That shows transparency in government. I really appreciate that. And I guess the news that I produce is more or less, involves government versus the Constitution and police accountability in that. And I see the whole situation unfolding here and I don't know a whole ton of a lot.
Uh-huh.
But I do, from my understanding, the situation is that the chief of police disciplined an officer for a certain action. Police officers don't like it, and there's some type of strike.
I wish it were that easy. Yeah, but that is part of the story. Okay. I mean, it's well known. I think I've been on the media for the last couple of days, telling the story. So what the police club, the police union, is upset with the police chief and the way he supervises his department. He's too tough on him. They use the word bully. I don't like to use the word bully, but I think that's a pretty strong term. But so they're upset with the chief. They don't think the town board has done enough to have their backs, for lack of a better word. So I look at it and go, okay, what is if you're upset with the chief, how many grievances? You must have grievances filed against him, right? If you're not happy with your boss, that's usually the way it works, right? Right. So I went back. How many grievances? Well, in the last over 3 years, since 2022, 2023, 2024, in that 3-year period plus all of 25, there have been 4 grievances filed, 4 against the chief, and so.
Now, you don't think that there's any plan to effect there of fear of retaliation? You file a grievance against the chief, and you end up on death student.
I've never seen any. I've never seen anything like that. Okay, I've been on the board for a long time.
How long have you been the supervisor?
10 years. My 10th year.
10th year.
Okay, I've dealt with 5 chiefs. I think 5 chiefs. Every police chief has had complaints. People have come to me, police officers come to me, the union comes to me, complaining about the police chief. He's too tough. They're too tough. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. So what kicked it off was what you just mentioned at the beginning. That they're unhappy with what was done with an officer, a disciplinary action that the chief had served charges on, and that officer has subsequently resigned because of what he did. And they weren't happy. They weren't happy though that the chief was doing it. And I can't tell you what the allegations were against this officer, but I want to tell you they were very, very serious.
So I came from the police department earlier. I put in a full request for certain things like the complaint, and why the disciplinary action, the complaint against them, right? And then any body camera footage that they can show of the incident.
Sure.
I just, mention it to you only that I would like for people to see, and make their own decision and have a little clarity. So I don't know what the possibilities of getting what body camera footage is involved. I don't even know times, dates.
They handle their own foils.
All right,
the police department.
But I'm just saying, maybe you can mention them. Hey, we're looking for transparency here. I know that I put in a full request. If you can give them as much as you can, to show transparency, because what I see a lot of the times is police getting away with murder. and doing stupid stuff, and you know, like I've been grabbed, I've been grabbed, and it's on video, and I got them come back and they internally investigate themselves, and they find that they never grabbed me. It's on camera, you know. So when I see a chief that disciplines somebody and the police acting up, I mean, I'd like to give the chief some due credit at doing the right thing. So I'd like to see it all.
The police officers, law enforcement officers, their job is a very difficult job. Okay, and it's probably become more difficult in my opinion, over the last 4 or 5 years. And I respect the job that the police officers do, but our chief, sitting in this room 5.5 years ago, when I appointed the chief, when I didn't appoint the chief, when we were getting ready to appoint the chief, I gave him one directive when he was taking over the department, and this is after the former chief, his predecessor, resigned. Okay, and I'm just going to leave it at that. He resigned for reasons that I'm not going to get into. But I gave the Chief Stoffager, I gave the current chief one directive: you got to hold your officers accountable. Just like I hold myself accountable, I believe, and I hold my town board accountable, I hold my department heads accountable, including the chief of police, the employees in the town, including our police officers, have to be accountable. And our chief is holding them accountable. I think the police department is run a lot more, I'm going to say accountability-wise, it's running a lot better now than it was 6 years ago.
And the public couldn't thank or ask for anything more than accountability in a law enforcement degree, so we can appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, I just come down here to ask, get a little opinion of what you thought of it. It looks like you backed the chief.
I back law enforcement. Okay, I back the chief. I do back the chief. Okay, in this instance, I do back the chief, but I have respect for our law enforcement, for our police officers. Okay, they went out on strike. Okay, in my opinion, the evidence shows that, and there's going to be a report that's going to be produced in about 60 days or less. That's going to show, I believe, though, that there was an obviously work slowdown, and that's what a police strike, according to the Taylor law. You probably know it. Okay, it's a work slowdown. That's what a police strike is, a work slowdown. And you're going to see, I believe there's going to be evidence that you'll see a work slowdown by a lot, not the entire police force. Because we've never said that the whole department participated in the strike, but there are a majority of officers who participated in the strike, and the numbers, I think, when they come out, will be a surprise to some people. Now, if they're wrong, if the investigation, when it's finalized, because we're doing a more thorough investigation now, if the investigation is finalized and it doesn't show that, and it shows that the town was wrong, I'll be the first to admit it.
Internal investigation or external?
Oh no, well, it's a report that's going to be filed with the state, so it's an external. It's going to be made available to the public. It'll be made available to the public, and we're going to make it available to the public.
Yeah, that's not. We're not talking about quotas by all means.
No quotas. Quotas have nothing to do. There are no quotas in the town.
I know people will look at that and say quota.
Yeah.
But
well, here's the thing. I'm sorry. What's your first name again?
Dan.
Dan. Okay. Here's the thing, Dan. Okay. People have asked me this over the last couple of days. How do you have quotas? I said no. They go, how do you know they're well, how do you know that's not normal that they're not running tickets? I said because we have evidence from the past several years. All of a sudden they're writing all these tickets, and all of a sudden for a 3-week period you have a bunch of zeros in there.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of obvious.
Something happened there.
The data released this afternoon by town leaders compares a 3-week period that started in mid-January and ended in the first week of February, with the same period for the past 4 years. The town says officers wrote a total of 123 tickets during that period in question, 123 this year. Compare that number with 557 tickets issued during the 3 weeks last year, more than 650 tickets issued in 2023, more than 430 in 2022, and more than 500 in 2021.
Something's going on there. Now, look, I hope I'm wrong.
Do you think
I really hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am.
Do you have any suspicion that the town is a little unsafer, that people might be taking advantage of this and be able to think
unsafe
speed in the town a little bit?
Well, that's a concern. I've raised that issue in the past. For those 3 weeks and the strike is over. The strike is over. So those 3 weeks from middle of January to February 5th, and people ask me, Supervisor, how do you know the strike ended on January 5th?
The statistics are going to show.
The ticket numbers went. All of a sudden, the ticket numbers went up, right?
The ticket numbers went up. You know, that will only make your report show even more that it was effective.
Yeah. I can't remember what I was going to say, but the report's going to be finalized, and you know, we want to. We were mandated. Once there was a suspicion that there was a strike going on, we are legally bound to report that because they're public employees. They can't go on strike because public safety. That's what I'm getting at. Public safety. I just remembered what I was going to tell you about. Public safety is impacted. Okay, during that 3-week period, speeder. You got cars speeding. Okay, what happens if somebody gets T-boned at Sheridan and Delaware here?
Mm-hmm.
Speeding.
Like I said, people could be taking advantage of that.
Speeding through the intersection. Somebody gets maimed or killed, and the attorney finds out that, hey, Tonawanda police weren't writing tickets during that time period. Do you think we're going to get our you-know-what sued?
Yeah, and I just want to mention to the people watching that the Taylor law is effective here and also recently in the corrections officers. And a lot of people in the comment section of viewing like, hey, I think these people should be able to protest. I think they should be able to protest. All right, protesting is all fine and dandy, but these people, such as police officers and corrections officers, signed a contract to take that job and get that badge that they would not strike because, like a corrections officer striking, they all go home. Who's going to feed the inmates? Now you got a bunch of human beings locked in cages and they're not allowed to go home, or get their own food. They could be starving to death. I mean, that's the reason the Taylor law is in effect for these. So, like, there's a difference between striking on the clock and not writing tickets, or striking when you're not supposed to be at work. Then striking when you're supposed to be at work, you put people in danger. So I just want to clarify that with anybody watching what the Taylor law is in effect for. Is these are jobs that will affect somebody's life if they don't show up.
Yeah, this is different than a strike like at GM or Ford, or
right? Because those are private companies.
Because those people, though, but they actually are not working. They're not showing up to work. Our officers were showing up to work.
Yeah.
Okay, so they were showing up to work. They were just doing. They weren't doing they were doing they were doing a slowdown, a work slowdown, which is defined as a strike.
Right.
By Taylor.
Yeah, the officers here were showing up to work. Obviously, they were
some are writing tickets, but not all.
You could see the report later in time here, and you'll see the slowdown. So.
Yep.
All right, I think that's all I have questions about that. I think I appreciate the transparency here, but actually, you know what? I got one last question.
Uh-oh. Always one last question.
When is the town going to do a reval here on reval?
That is a great question.
It's been how long?
30. It's been 39 years.
It's been 84 years.
39 years.
So when is the next one?
I would love to. I am pushing for a reval.
Right.
I am pushing for one. That's a board decision, obviously.
Right.
And the board.
The board members hate it. They call it political suicide.
I have not, and I disagree with that. They do. I
think if the people understood the full value of a reval, like everybody gets to pay their own fair
Just
share.
Their fair share.
Fair
share of taxes.
It's my understanding you own a company that does revals.
Obviously, you did your homework. You did your homework.
That's correct, fam. 40 years without a reval, and the supervisor owns a reval company.
I do.
You couldn't do it for Tonawanda.
I do. I retired from that company.
You just retired?
I'm done with that company. It's I believe it's a fair thing to do for the residents, and I'm still working on my town board.
Who's holding it up? Can we throw anybody under the bus?
I'm not going to. The board, we vote as a whole. So the town board is, I'm one. The town board has not come around to my line of thinking yet.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of work on showing people how the revals work and stuff like that.
In Buffalo, have you done Buffalo?
All over in there. Yeah, I've been downtown Buffalo.
I did Buffalo. We did Buffalo twice.
Oh, your company did the.
We did it the most. We were the secondary contractor on the latest one.
I think because
5 years ago we were the main contractor.
I think last year, last year, because Amherst, it was so big in the news, revals and all that. So I think just to get people on board to understand it better, because they're all upset about it, but it's really not a bad thing.
You're probably too young, but you remember Cy Sims? Cy Sims was a furniture guy. He says that his commercial was always, back in the 70s, an educated consumer is our best customer. Okay, well, it's the same thing with revals, with revaluations. You educate the public. A reassessment project, I know this is not turning into what I'd hoped, what I thought it'd be. A reassessment project is just as much as a communication project as it is a valuation project. The contractor and the municipality have to communicate to their residents, to their constituents, what the project actually is. They have to educate them, because everybody gets scared. Oh, my taxes are gonna go up. Well, look, if you're underassessed, way underassessed, grossly underassessed, yeah, your taxes are going up. But that's saying
Could go
that,
the other way too, if you got overassessed.
yeah, but that's saying,
30 years of no reval.
if you're not paying your fair share, the rest of the town, your neighbors are paying for your taxes. They're subsidizing you, because the tax cap with the budget, with the tax levy, that's really kind of at a stuck number. You know, that number doesn't change too much. Okay, so if you're raising the assessed valuation of the entire community, the tax rate comes down. So your assessment's going up, your tax rate's coming down, and hopefully they'll meet around your taxes. Your assessment could go up 40-50% here in the town, and your taxes will be coming down. I guarantee it.
Right.
If we did a reval. So education, I don't know.
Yeah, I do believe the education on the reval stuff, and I know some local.
I did a
stations
piece.
are
There's a
working on
YouTube piece somewhere out there for the town of Grand Island that I did when they did their reassessment from like 2021 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I still get complimented on it. So if you have time, go on YouTube, Google Grand Island reassessment video, and you'll see me.
I think I did see the video before I came here. I didn't watch it. I just wanted to get a visual of what you look like in case you ran into me. Just in case you were one of those supervisors who were not transparent, who would not invite me into an office and be transparent. I would know who you were in case you were trying to slip out the back door, but I do appreciate you.
Yeah, that's all right. You don't live in the town, I take it?
No, I'm from Erie County. I actually grew up in Alden.
Right.
Lived in Lancaster, Lackawanna a little bit. I own an auto repair shop in Orchard Park, and I started a YouTube channel about 4 years ago.
Okay.
We're going to year 5, and I started it as something for the community where I can show, certain things. Like it started off with policing, policing the policing type
that
of
was
thing.
during
Just before COVID.
COVID, yeah.
So like the idea at the beginning was to make sure I go down to police stations, get complaint forms, and not get intimidated out of there and bullied, and the right to film in public spaces and stuff like that. And I never expected it to actually be able to turn into a career and be able to shut down an auto repair shop and go down to a traffic stop and see firemen searching the car with the police, and you video record this, and it's like anything. If this was a criminal case, this whole thing would be unadmissible. It creates transparency and accountability in a way that I never even expected.
Only in America, right? You can do this.
A good example is I had a girl who stood out with a sign and said, "I love Smith v. Cumming." Smith was real small, so it just looked like she was holding a sign that said, "I love Cumming."
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Free speech.
Yeah.
Cops came up.
Yeah.
The place at the bar she was standing in front of called the cops. They show up, and a good example is while the cops were talking to her, I walked up to the police vehicle and their computer screen's open. You can see their chats on there, and the chat said, "The sign is legal, right? I don't want to end up on YouTube looking dumb." And the other guy goes, "Yes, it's legal, but tell the lieutenant as soon as you can." Okay, and you know what? That's great. It shows that my activism in the YouTube channel is working. They're thinking twice about just randomly vandalizing somebody's rights or violating somebody's rights, but it just shows we're not quite done yet, because that text should have read, "That sign is legal. I don't want to violate nobody's civil rights." They shouldn't be worried about looking dumb on YouTube. They should be worried. You know what I mean? Like once we get that. Now we don't need it.
I get calls periodically. I'm not going to say a lot, but I get a fair amount of calls. People complaining about neighbors having signs that are free speech, and I tell them, I said, can't really do much about it. They're entitled. They're really entitled, as long as they're not harming anyone, or
I imagine some of these F Biden or F Trump flags flying around.
During the campaign, I go, what do you want me? We still live in the United States of America.
There is case law, and arresting somebody on a disorderly charge for freedom of free speech is a slippery slope.
It is, and I tell the people, there's not much we can do, and thank you for calling. Make me aware of it. I mean, we can go up and ask the resident, obviously, to remove the sign, and I think we do encourage our police officers to do that when they see that. But if they don't want to do it, there's nothing we can do. Right. It's like we got Confederate flags, right? Flying in the town. People, I get calls on those. That's racist. I said
I said whether I agree or disagree. I said that we live in the United States of America. They have a right. They have a right to fly it.
I like that honor in your oath.
Yeah, I can't. I can't do. There's some things that government can do. There's a lot of things that government can't do, and that's what's good about our country, I think.
All right. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time.
All right,
I'm sure you're a busy guy.
Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you.
On the way in here, that you guys have a sign-in sheet.
Yes.
That sign-in sheet's got to be voluntary, because if anybody doesn't want to sign in, they don't have to waive their Fourth Amendment rights to come into the public building.
It's mainly for it's for security, and if there's a fire in the building, we know who's in the building.
Right.
That's kind of what it's for. But you're right. We don't
waive their name. You know what I'm saying? The security guard last time I was here has a little bit of a problem. This time he didn't say a word.
Yeah.
But like your secretary was like, "Did you sign in?" I'm like, "I don't wish to waive my Fourth Amendment. I just want to speak to the." And she's like, "Well, you got to sign." I mean.
It's for everybody's protection, but if you don't want to do it, if you don't want to do it,
as long as you guys understand that I don't have to say anything more about it.
We won't be sending our police after you. All right, Dad. You have a good day.
I do appreciate you. On hand, I can count the amount of supervisors I can come down and get an interview or be able to speak to that they're not hiding behind their desks and stuff like that. So I do appreciate you, and I'm gonna add you to the list of great supervisors who I can come down and
great may be an exaggeration, but
well,
I am open. I am open.
Thank you
I'm
very
an
much.
open book. All right, Dan. Have a good day.
So as like I said, there's very few supervisors who would take the time to speak to us and show transparency in government. So that says a lot for the town of Tonawanda. So also the supervisor, and they do understand that this is please sign in, they're asking to sign in, and they know that they can't as well. So last time we were here, John behind us had a bigger problem today. He didn't ask me to sign in. He knew that I was not going to, or I didn't wish to, and he didn't process. So John did pretty good today. Supervisor secretary, hopefully she doesn't demand that somebody does something that they don't wish to and try to violate her rights in the future. So you guys leave a comment what you think about the supervisor down here today, and I'll see you guys in the comment section. Now this one's a bit crazy, fam. You guys definitely waiting to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section about this. It's quite a sticky situation, because who do you be mad at here? Obviously, the police striking for a guy who stole some drugs or kept drugs. I don't know what you guys want to call it. Did drugs. Who knows what he did with the drugs? The paperwork hints that it's heroin. We're so used to in this world seeing police officers not get disciplined. Now we're watching a police officer get disciplined by the chief of police, who's a police officer. And then the rest of the police department is going to strike in response to the police officer disciplining the police officer too sternly. It's mind-boggling. It's something we never see, guys. So let's go ahead and go through this charge paperwork. I'm not going to read it all. Because I'm horrible at reading and I'd slaughter it. But if you guys want to read through it, you can obviously pause it as sections. I'm going to skim through it here and just point out some points that I seen. Then we'll go ahead and show you what the FOIL request and the answer to this summons, and we'll explain what happened. So let's go ahead with this. I'll just go ahead and scroll down here. Like I said, you guys can go ahead and pause this at any point. That's just one of the first documents there, and then we got the case file here. It looks like he was a police officer since 2014, July 31st of 2014. Now, I'm not really sure why they would put number 3 in here, other than the report says that illegal drugs. Up here it talks about the handling of heroin. It might lead one to believe that the illegal drugs might have been heroin, and we all did hear the supervisor say that it was a pretty horrendous or, pretty serious charge. So I'm not going to read through this whole thing. We're just going to scroll down through it, and you guys can pause it if you want to. You can see the first charge here is right here, misconduct, violations of the rules of conduct. That was the first charge because they said there's 6. And this kind of just goes through it here, and it talks about on November 1st at about 2 p.m. he went to a call as a police officer. At the call, it was reported criminal mischief at the residence, and what it comes down to is the residence has a camera, shows that he had some footage here, showed the police officer of a bottle being left on his porch, And then here it talks about, walking up the driveway with the bottle, something inside the bottle of residue. While at the residence, you retrieve the plastic bottle from the porch. While you're at the residence, you cut the plastic bottle open, and with the bag inside of it, which contained illegal drugs. And at the end of the day, what this report pretty much says is that drugs disappeared, guys. And, the subject who called the police down there to report the drugs on his porch, and he wanted to report to a police call and say, hey, what'd you guys ever find? And the police are like, what do you mean? And at the end of the day, it was found that he cut the drugs. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll through the rest of this. You can see all 6 charges within this file. You guys go ahead and pause that wherever you need to. But I do have to hand it to the police department, handing this out file pretty quick on the FOIL return. That's not likely. And most times, it's back the blue all the way. Like some back this guy's drug habit apparently, or theft of drugs. But let's go ahead and look at the charge papers. All right, fam. Now these are the report of violation paperwork on B. Singh, and it looks like what happened here is he put in a request to plead guilty to some of the charges and wanted the rest of the charges dropped. And it looks like the chief of police did ultimately accept that offer. But then when he went for punishment time, it looks like the chief of police gave him 30 days unpaid suspension. And apparently B. Singh, our man B. Singh here, he didn't like that, and that wasn't good enough for him. So he actually resigned and quit before they could fire him, as what I've heard in the news. So you guys leave a comment in the comment section what you think about all that. And I mean, I've heard of back in the blue, but I never heard of back in the crankin' blue. I'll see you guys in the comment section. Leave your opinions. I can't wait to hear what you guys think about police force striking for an officer getting disciplined for stealing drugs.
Do you take drugs or alcohol?
What is drugs? What is drugs?
We live in a society now where people want to record how they discipline their child. People that might get mad with this video is the people that probably already embarrassed their child. You can discipline your child in their room. Take something away from them. If they act up, well, I'm like, son, you can't play the game.
And this is odd that they would put this in here into this. What the heck? Get rid of that. Now I'm not really sure why they would put number 3.
Okay, you just need to sign in first.
Yeah, I don't wish to sign in.
Pardon me?
I don't really wish to sign in.
Well, that's the procedure.
It's Ordinary County fam. Yeah. Corruption cruiser rolls into town. Our public servants better not clown. Our rights respected, no backing down. Audit them all, Constitution showdown. Turn on the camera, light up the dark. Erie County fam making a mark. Power to the people, don't lose your spark. This dog will bite, not just bark. Bad cops scatter, they know the name. First Amendment on our side, we got no shame. Document them all, expose their games. Do it for the people, not for the fame. Turn on the camera, light up the dark. Erie County fam making a mark. Power to the people, don't lose your spark. This dog will bite, not just bark. Flexing our rights, a man with a mission. Constitution on our side, never asked for permission. Taking pictures and videos, and hey, might just take a piece of public candy. Turn on the camera, light up the dark. Erie County fam making our mark. Power to the people, don't lose your spark. This dog will bite, not just bark. Come the government dogs with their charges and cuffs, barking up the wrong tree, acting so tough. We'll FOIL request the body cams and all their reports. Brittany Penn, Berthy gonna neuter them in court. Turn on the camera, light up the dark. Erie County fam making our mark. Power to the people, don't lose your spark. This dog will bite, not just bark. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, fam. We out.
Pull the Constitution out of your pockets on here. Like that was supposed to prove something.
First Amendment, freedom of the press.
We have every right to vote. Oh, here, there.
Your name is not Dan, Erie County.
This isn't Erie County.
Yeah.
Sure it is. On here is Dan, Erie County.
Legitimate? Maybe. Official? No.
Can't be too far away, we're running down here.